lucky Israel.
Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Taza Wolf, we ain't forget about you, leave your light lit. Rappers can't see, most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes, this one right here for the trenches. Bad bitch niggas, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Runners on them fences, 23 and 1 out. Praying at that commissary end before it run out. Riches on the gram, dog filter with they tongue out, couldn't stay home and took their mouth in the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but all my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 chicks. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Gun on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go. And then you talk, you don't know lie. Got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the squad in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the squad in my whole life. My whole life. So I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics. They got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic. And you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is Pure the Sunny. My wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100. Feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Then she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her. They don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fancy on the face, but it's not concealing the pain. It's a shame. That's why I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dirt tick, mad black, they do it for half that. Hey, you like 90s, we see in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Tahoe Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that black word. Make the counter just take pleasures, making an eye hurt. Light is in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed, y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. The streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the squad in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know lie. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in the squad in my whole life. My whole life. Somebody need to hear this. Y'all speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to forget it. You can never be a Jew. You are Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dumb. A gun down or die. Yeah, Easy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear how Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947. Your menorah got 9 sticks. It's really yes, us against the world. Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, bunch of thieves and culture vultures. Ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander, and Philip, you a convert. So tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you live there. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real jewel. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. UPK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bass and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil who is, I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi why he giving babies herpes. I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cast. So everybody try to kill me, I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they suffering curses. If I was carnal, I'm probably in person. I know this uncomfortable subject, they making millions off our culture, and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ, they're the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas, they're a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. About before, I ain't satisfied. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. Absolute proof. Like if you got the records, go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves, that is their identity, and they know. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the Lord. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's what God's chosen people are. I got you. It's time to vote God. Not God a real nigga, cause he want no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the pop ball. Fuck what they heard, but none of it's all true. Because it's the foundation for it to fall through. They gon' fall, look, I keep this shit 50 times through. Ain't no more hard in this game, but y'all cute. Yeah, colder than the avalanche. Way above Amway. A bitch taste sweet, told to make me an apple tree. Left this in the valley. Flip bone, this is where hope fail. Have a clone man, dog stands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Wall, telling me how the crackers turn the shower into a ghost town. Hope it stop there, I lay that game down. I feel this pain cause nothing is the same now. My light shine, heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no bench. So all them niggas we bear all types of range. Them mother niggas trap, I make anthems for it. I really see promise under the banner. Bring my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I want it black and white like a panther. I'm better than that nigga that stunk dirty to handle. Look, I'm more like a Brazilian, French Fargo, spirit ancient, but I got a growing Jimmy Auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Leave if they won't, I cut through their Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Round with Yara down, just left the state bridge. Looking for for a bitch better than baby. Remember I dropped quite on, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah. Hey, this the ISUPK. I'm the Commander General Your Honor. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. This is the ISUPK, Kentucky, Monday night history class with scriptures and breakdown. I am priest and officer Zabak Yasharala. And tonight I'll be talking about the history of celebrating your birthday is not of God, but of Satan. You know, a lot of people like to sit and think that, by celebrating your birthday, however you want to classify it, celebrating your birthday, celebrating the day that you was born, or they be trying to put like little spins on it. So like different little titles on it, like your born day, anniversary day, things of that nature. But still yet and all in all, by you doing that right there, you kind of like bigging yourself up, and that's really not of the Most High God. Because when you go in the scriptures, by you celebrating your birthday, that ain't no different than you celebrating the birth of Nimrod, which a lot of people like to sit and say that, we celebrate, December 25th, we celebrating Christ's birthday, which that is not in the Bible either. Celebrating the birth of Nimrod is on December 25th. A lot of people don't know that. But you got to do the research, because if you call yourself like in history and things of that nature, do the research. Find out for yourself. Because celebrating December 25th ain't no different than you celebrating St. Patrick's Day. The St. Patrick's Day, you celebrating the birthday of a guy by the name of Patrick. And went on later on to call himself St. Patrick. And that celebrating the birthday is not of the Most High God, but is of man, Satan really put that spirit on man and carry that out throughout this whole earth. And one man that really, he's a Satanist. Shout out to my camp leader, the water out of one. Shout out to us. And the one man that really pushed that agenda, and really still is pushing that agenda, set aside from Satan putting that spirit on him, is Anton LaVey. And he got this whole world in an uproar, because he believes in Satan, and they got their own Bible, they got their own church, things of that nature. But when you go in the scriptures, and right now I'm talking to God's chosen. I'm talking to the children of the Most High God, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. I'm talking to man, woman, and child. And, and for some of us Israelites, especially in Christianity, we still will go on, y'all are sitting, going to these churches on Sunday, and to come out to church and still go on to celebrate your birthday, still go on to celebrate the day that you was born. still go on, do these little birthdays, which that is a whole different, another custom too. And y'all really don't know what y'all doing. Y'all really don't know where this custom comes from. But here in the ISUPK under here in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, we do intensive research. We do intensive research. That's why we are home of the truth. Since 1969, we've been coming out with this truth. Not saying that the truth hasn't been around, it's just that our leaders have been afraid to come forward with the truth. Because you look at our pastor, reverend, deacons, and all them, they are for a hire. They got money coming behind the things that they do. We do the work of the Most High God. Here in the ISUPK and the Commander General Hunter. So, we're going to give you the truth, whether you like it or not. Because, like it says in Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not. And I'm kind of paraphrasing when I say it. Show the children of Israel their transgression. But celebrating your birthday is not what you think it is. Because here in the ISUPK, Commander General Hunter, by you telling somebody, by you wishing somebody a happy birthday, however you want to say it, however you want to try to color code it and try to downsize it, it's like you wishing death on that person who is you talking to on the day that they was born. You can say happy born day or however. You wishing death on them by saying that to them. Because when you go in scripture, it's like when you go in the scripture, like nowhere in the Bible do the Most High God said to celebrate your birthday. In the Bible, it talks about like 2 birthdays, and they both resulted in deaths. One is dealing with Joseph, one of Jacob's sons, who was sold into slavery while he was in Egypt. He had I'm kind of paraphrasing when I say this, what I'm about to say. He had a dream, and he interpreted this dream of what it meant. He was talking to like one of the chief butlers, and he was talking to like one of the chief bakers. And Pharaoh threw a big party. And when you go into, I'm going to dive like right into it. When you look at Genesis chapter 40, and you read like verse 20 through verse 22, it talks about how the chief baker was being killed because Joseph had prophesied and told him what his dream had meant, what the dream had meant. And, the result of the birthday that Pharaoh threw it in death. So a new birthday in the Bible where it talks about John the Baptist. Because John the Baptist was beheaded. And King Herod had a birthday party because, King Herod was sleeping with King Herod was sleeping with his brother's wife. And John the Baptist was telling this lady Herodes about, the things that they were doing along with King Herod. So, King Herod had a birthday party, and he made a vow. He made a promise to, I want to say King Herod's daughter, not Salaki. This woman named Herodes, her daughter, was dancing. So upon her doing this little dance, whatever, King Herod told her that, he'd give her anything. He made a promise, so he kept to his word. And being that the lady had this certain spirit on her because, she was in sin, and John the Baptist was telling her about the things that she was doing. So, they had King Herod Salaki. I'm talking too fast. Let me slow down. Herodes' daughter went to King Herod and said that she wanted John the Baptist's head bought on a charger. But in the Bible, when it says charger, it is talking about like an actual plate, like a serving tray. So upon that, King Herod was sitting in front of some high officials, some people that they would have looked down on him and probably talked bad about him. So, he had to carry out what the little promise he made to Herodes' daughter. So, boom. Upon that birthday party, death resulted. And it ain't no different than today, in today's society. It ain't no different in today's society, but I'm going to give you, but you could look this up, if anybody that wants to look it up. Like if you go in Matthew, when it talks about John the Baptist being beheaded at his birthday party, you look at Matthew chapter 14, and you read all the way from verse 1 to verse 14. Even you look at Mark chapter 6, verse 14, all the way through verse 29. And that'll give you that'll give you the story of, at this party, how death resulted in the end. Even down, like I told you earlier, about when Joseph, how Pharaoh threw a party and death resulted for the outcome of this party. So, behind parties, don't know but death results in that. But I'm going to give you some insight, because I'm going to read a little article that's really touching home on these birthdays and things of that nature, and where it results from and the outcome of it. Because it's nothing good that extends from that. I mean, it's nothing good. So this is it. It said Satanic Bible. It's the Satanic Bible and birthdays, the idolatry of self-esteem, the highest of Satan's holy days, holidays. We're going to read Salaki. Let me just borrow that. Holidays. Because holy days belong to the Most High God. It says does not necessarily endorse anything outside or beyond the testimony against pagan practice of birthday keeping in or form any of the information or sources quoted in this blog. All right, there's an affinity of such commemoration among the wicked as recorded in the Satanic Bible. And the one dude that is over this satanic church, his name is Anton LaVey. And then they have their own so-called book, Satanic Bible. And it's like call it like the Book of Lucifer. The Enlightened Avon books. But let me jump into this. It say the highest of all holidays in the satanic religion is the date of one's own birthday. This is in direct contradiction to the holy of holy days of other religions. And I can I can agree with that because it is a contradiction. Because the Most High have not said once to celebrate your birthday. Nowhere from Genesis to Revelation. It's nowhere in the Bible. Nowhere in the Bible. Because the Most High knows what's best for us than we know for ourselves. That's why it's not in the Bible. Because of this right here. Because you will lift yourself up to be more than what you think you are. And that's crazy. It say which defy a particular God who has been created in an anthropomorphic form of their own image, thereby showing that they are really buried. It say the Satanist feels, why not really be honest? And if you are going to create a God in your image, why not create that God as yourself? So, this is what they believe. This is what they believe. Every man is a God if he chooses to recognize himself as one. But the Most High said that we are gods, but that's with a lowercase. But you is not above the Most High God. You is not above the Most High God in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Creation ain't gonna ever outdo the Creator. So the Satanist celebrates his own as the most important holiday of the year. After all, aren't you happier about the fact that you were born than you are about the birth of someone you have never even met? So a lot of people, even with that being said, even if you never met somebody and say they throwing a birthday party and they invite you, the customs and the tradition of this world, a person will go. A person will go. Because at the end of the day, the reason that a person will go, because they know that they're going to get some free liquor, they're going to get some free food, and probably end up indulging in sex, among other things. So, yeah, a person would go to somebody else's party they don't know. Yes, they would. They would. Or for that matter, aside from religious holidays, why pay higher tribute to the birthday of a president or to date in history than we do to the day we were brought into this greatest of all worlds? Despite the fact that some of us may not have been wanted, or at least were not particularly planned, we're glad, even if no one else is, that we're here. And this is coming from these people that are in the satanic religion. Bear with me. Salaki. I'm going to start back over. So the Satanist celebrates his own birthday as the most important holiday of the year. After all, aren't you happy about the fact that you were born and you are about the birth of someone you have never even met? Or for that matter, aside from religious holidays, why pay higher tribute to the birthday of a president or to a date in history than we do to the day we were brought into this greatest of all worlds? Despite the fact that some of us may not have been wanted, or at least were not particularly planned, we're glad, even if no one else is, that we're here. You should give yourself a pat on the back. Buy yourself whatever you want. Treat yourself like the king or god that you are, and generally celebrate your birthday with as much pomp and ceremony as possible. It goes on to say, it is interesting, but you see how they promoting you celebrating your birthday. So in other words, like how they like to say it now today, they saying celebrate, they saying celebrate your birthday with much pomp and ceremony as possible. So for today, people like say, yo, I'm turning up. I have them met people that have them celebrate their birthdays 3-4 days prior to the day they was born. I have heard people say this here. I'm celebrating my birthday the whole month. Like if a person born in the month of May, June, July, and their birthday is like at the last day of that month. I have met people that have celebrated their birthday that whole month. And now that I'm in the truth, that I'm in the ISUPK and the Commander General Hunter, I could look back and see to where these people walk around looking like they was a zombie. Like a certain spirit was on them. Because you going about drinking, it's like you doing the most. And you really not yourself. Because you taking yourself through unnecessary changes. Instead of you just, humbling yourself, but when you don't know no better, you're not going to do better. When you don't know what your birthday is, when you don't know the origin behind that, when you don't know who is behind pushing that agenda. So how can you take it upon yourself to say that you coming about that? Because I have met people that look forward to that. And when I say they look forward to that, it's the thing that it's that 2 words that's being said to them. Like happy birthday so and so, happy birthday. And it's looking back on that, like, yo, it's crazy. It is crazy because a lot of people take pride in that. A lot of people take pride in somebody wanting to, especially the person that's on the receiving end. They walking around with their little chest stuck out, and if a person don't know the person that's on the receiving end, they're going to let them know just so they can hear that person tell them, what it is that they say on that day. And it's just crazy. It is just crazy. So it says it is interesting that birthdays are considered the most important holiday to these Satan worshipers. The founding of their church called Walpurgis Snatch, and Halloween are the other ones of importance to them. Because with these Satan worshipers, I say the most 2 important days to them is them celebrating their birthdays and Halloween. It says the origin of Alexandria, writing over 2 centuries after the death of Jesus follows this same line when he recorded a diatribe against the memories of birthdays.
indicating that at the time of his writing, a day to remember the birth of Jesus was not part of the church calendar. He is right. And it says, not one from all the saints is found to have celebrated a festive day or a great feast day of his birth. It says, no one is found to have had joy on the day of the birth of his son or daughter. They say only sinners rejoice over this kind of birthday. Oh, and it goes on to talk about what I had said earlier. It say, for indeed we find in the Old Testament Pharaoh, king of Egypt, celebrating the day of his birth with a festival, and in the New Testament Herod. However, both of them stain the festival of his birth by shedding human blood. It says, but the saints not only do not celebrate a festival on their birthdays, but filled with the Holy Spirit, they curse that day. After the example of Job, Jeremiah, and David. So you see, even in the Bible, it talks about that. I'm gonna touch on that. So, like I was saying earlier, I'm talking to God's chosen people. I'm talking to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. If you are not in the truth, this goes for every man, woman, and child that are Israelites. And if you are not in the truth, you gotta stop with this. You gotta stop with this, because all this do is result in death. That's all it do. It results in death. I mean, there's no getting around this. Because this is a day, well, any day that you celebrate and you call yourself celebrating your birthday, that day is cursed. That day is already cursed. And it's been times. I have another article I'm gonna touch on where it talks about I'm not gonna read too much of it, but it talks about how it resulted in death. And I mean everybody wants to celebrate a birthday. Everybody wants to do this and do that. Because I remember they was having I remember at one point in time on TV they had a show out, like the Sweet 16. And there was people that was coming on this show, people that had money. I'm talking about one family. I think Jay-Z rented out his 40/40 club. I seen where Lil Wayne bought his daughter, like, she had like 2 whips. When I say whips, I'm talking about 2 cars. This show right here was crazy. But I can remember when I was in the world. I never really, my spirit wasn't really into that. My spirit was not really into that. And I was in the world, but I never really looked upon and say, yo, celebrate my birthday, this and that and the third. I wake up, I just quiet as kept. And I remember one time, like my baby sister, she had asked me one time, why you don't be celebrating your birthday? And I just looked at her. I was just like, it was just another day, but I was still in the world. But I really wasn't like how people say, yo, I'm turning up, yo, I'm doing this. I done seen people take the day off. Take the day off. Don't even go clock in on this day. Just to say they doing the most on this day that you, and it don't really make no sense. But I'm gonna touch on this little article, and the article goes, what has our nation come to? They say the bloodshed in Alabama marked the third high-profile mass shooting in many weeks in the U.S. South following separate outbreaks. Yes, okay. Salaki, bear with me. It's Salaki, Israel. But I'm going to stay on topic. Because, celebrating your birthday is nothing good. Because the day that you celebrate that day is already cursed, whether you know it or not. The Most High God has already cursed it. So you got to come out that. You got to come out that custom. Because that is not the way of living. That is not our culture. That when I say it's not our culture, I'm talking about it's not an Israelite culture. So for God's chosen people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, you have to stop doing what you do. You have to stop doing what you do. You're going to have to humble yourself. I'm talking to every man, woman, and child. You're going to have to humble yourself. I have a 5-year-old. His spirit is in the right place. Because he looked at me and he said, Daddy, and I'll never forget him asking me this. He said, Daddy, he said, what we going to do for my birthday? I told him, I said, we're going to do what God said do. God said not to celebrate birthdays. My son looked at me and he said, okay, Daddy. 2 days later, he said, Daddy, we're going to do what God said do. And he never ask me again. So now guess what's going to happen? Him turning 6, 7, 8, getting on up. It's going to be a thing of the norm. Because he going to be so used to not doing that till when somebody do ask him, he going to say nowhere in the Bible God said to celebrate that. So he going to be so used to living his life according to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God till can't nobody come at him like that. Can't nobody come at him because he going to be sharp. He going to be sharp and he going to tell you. That's just like a lady asked him around Christmas time, what was he getting for Christmas? And I'm kind of sidebar for a second. And I didn't even tell him to say this. And this was a she-devil. My son looked at this lady in her face and he said, I don't even celebrate Christmas. Yo, the lady mouth fell on the floor. She couldn't even say nothing. She said, I wish my kids was like that. I just looked at her. I said, well, if you train them, they will be like that. Say they would be like that. But we as Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, man, woman, and child, we got to come back Like I said, if you're not in the ISUPK and the Commander Junior Hunter, you got to get to the school nearest you. We have one that is near you. All you got to do is reach out. All you got to do is reach out. Make the phone call. Real simple. Make the phone call. Once you make that phone call, then boom. That's the start of something new, something beautiful. You experience something that you would never. You experience something that you would never experience before in your life, and then you're gonna come out of this. You ain't gotta worry about celebrating all these man-made holidays. You ain't gotta worry about turning up for your birthday. Because when you do turn up, guess what you're gonna turn up for? You're gonna turn up for the Most High God. I'm talking about the God of Israel. That's who you're gonna turn up for. That's who you're gonna start living for. That's who you're gonna start obeying. So you ain't gotta worry about trimming your ways to seek love from these other nations. Because God ain't even worrying about these other nations. God only care about his chosen people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, man, woman, and child. You gotta come out of these. You gotta come out. You gotta come out. But I'm gonna go ahead and take some of these scriptures. You know, celebrating your birthday is that of Satan and not of God. So when you celebrate your birthday, you lifting yourself up. You're lifting yourself up in a high esteem, like almost to the highest that you can try to take yourself. But you don't know this. You don't know this. You're leaving yourself up above more than what you are supposed to and doing the things that is of this world. Because people try to go all out for a party, get decorations and, you know, females buying new outfits, dude, they copping new gear. Like, what is y'all really doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my man going to get his hair cut, getting laced. She going to get, she going to get hair. She ain't even worried about keeping the receipt. As long as she got her little hair done, nails done, she got her little shoes on, and y'all trying to invite everybody and their mom to come out to the party. Come out and celebrate your little birthday and what have you. But then in the end, you go. Here come this fight breaking out. Here come gunshots. Somebody getting stabbed or something. And but then you want to sit and say this right here. Man, niggas can't have nothing. We ain't. Not knowing that it's cursed. It was cursed. That the day was cursed. But when you start doing things that is of this world, this is what you're going to get. This is what's happening. And the Most High God said it best when he said it like this. When you look at 1 John chapter 2, verse 15, God said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Neither the things that is in this world. So you celebrating your birthday, that is of this world. Because it then became worldly. I'm talking about throughout this whole earth. Everybody and their mom's gonna celebrate a birthday. Everybody and their moms. I'm talking about, I remember growing up and a little kid having a birthday party. Man, the party jumped off and grown up party now. But we make any and every excuse to celebrate a birthday at any cost. At any cost. No matter what. No matter what. And people gonna keep it going. People gonna keep it going. And not understanding that, by you doing this stays cursed. God said, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Verse 16, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but of this world. Because you going on to do the thing that is of this world. And celebrating your birthday, that is of this world. Even though it came by the way of Satan. Satan put the spirit on a certain man, and now this man had to carry this holiday abroad. He didn't carry it abroad. So now by you continuing to say, it's going to result in this. By you continuing to celebrate your birthday, it's going to result in this. And there's no way of getting around this. Because the Most High, yes, the Most High going to see to it. When you look at Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. You celebrating your birthday? That's bound to come. That's bound to happen. Because somebody going to act ignorant. Somebody going to step on somebody's sneakers. Something real petty. Not saying excuse me. Somebody going to bump into somebody. Somebody looking at somebody's wife. Somebody talking to somebody reckless. And here we go. Off to the races. But by you keep celebrating birthdays too, this and that and the third, it's, each and every year you want to take it up a step higher. And there's a way receiving right unto a man, but the end thereof are the way of death. So you just leading yourself to death and not even knowing it. You leading yourself to death. And when death come tap you on the shoulder, there's no way you can sit and call on the Most High. How you gonna call on the Most High when you don't want to do what the Most High say do? But then you want to call on it? Like, yo, come on, who you think you playing with? Like, for real. We want to call on the Most High when, and I'm going to say like how Captain Zaria said it. They use God like he a spare tire. But then y'all want to call on him. And the whole time you've been leaning on your own understanding. You've been doing what you want to do. When you want to do it. But in a time of need, when you done got a little effed up, now you ready to say, yo, God, no. It's too late. Little do you know in Deuteronomy 32:39, God said, I kill and I make alive. Yeah. But you don't want to get in the scriptures and read the Bible for yourself. You don't want to do the research. You just want to do what you want to do. But then in a time of need, you want to call on God. But when God say, why call on me when you don't want to do the things I do? So keep doing what you do. And don't bother God. For what? For what? Just keep doing what you do. Just keep doing what you do. You've been doing it. You want to sit there and be... People kill me with that. People kill me with that. You want to keep doing stupid, and then you want to do stupid, but you want to get a just reward. No. You keep doing stupid, you're going to get rewarded stupid. Crazy. But it's okay not to celebrate your B-Day when you know where the celebrating your B-Day extends from. Salaki. When you know where this extends from, then it's no way that you should want to do this no more. There's no way, it's no shape, form, or fashion that you should want to celebrate this birthday when you know that it is of Satan. There's no way. There's no way. But it's okay not to celebrate your B-Day. That's what I mean. But it's okay not to celebrate birthday when you know where celebrating your birthday extends from. But God said it best when he said this. Because if you know where it comes from, then you should want to just be like, nah, I'm not even doing this. I'm not even going to play myself. But some of us, we just can't help ourselves. We just want to look good for the people that surround us. We want to make ourselves look more than what we are. You know, we got too much pride. You know, a lot of people, they want to come up against us because we telling the truth. But every time y'all come up against the ISUPK and the Commander General, it's like you run into a brick wall. It's like you ain't got no wins. You ain't got no wins. So I don't even know why y'all even be playing yourself. You ain't got no wins. But let me read this. Proverbs 9. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 6. It says, forsake the foolish. So by you forsaking the foolish, when I say you forsaking the foolish, you're not participating with people that's call themselves celebrating birthdays. You're not going to no more birthday parties. You're not having no more birthday parties. So you can't let nobody tell you, what you doing for your birthday this year? And my man, you gotta leave them people alone. Leave them people alone. Leave that alone. You gotta leave that alone. They say, forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding. Because if you get a good understanding of where this comes from, then it's real easy to forsake the foolish. You're not gonna deal with foolish people no more. You're not. But we like to party. We like to get drunk. We like to act stupid. We like to talk stupid. We like to do stupid. We like to indulge in stupid. So, you know, it's stupid all the way across the board. It's stupid all the way across the board. Like, yo, come on, man. Y'all people gotta wake up, man. Y'all people gotta wake up. For real, y'all gotta wake up, man. I mean, some of the simplest things on this earth, man, y'all take it to the extreme. Y'all take it to the extreme. But every time a person or people that are God's chosen talks about they're going to turn up for their birthday, and that is not in the truth, this is the end result. This is the end result for the ones that want to turn up and say, yo, I'm doing this. I didn't get to do this last year, so I'm going to do it this year. I'm going to go big for my birthday. You know, each and every year, a person, I haven't been around people that say, yo, I'm going all out this year. Like stop. Tell me you going all out this year. Proverbs chapter 18, 21. And then, yeah, I'm going all out. I'm doing the most. It say death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Yeah, you gonna eat the fruit. Because now you're speaking death into existence. Because you don't even know that this day has been cursed. The day in which that you have been born. But you want to go and celebrate that. So I don't really get how you can really celebrate death. And it's like you just it's it's a it's a it's a saying in the Bible, and it just came to me. You know, it talks about why I'm paraphrasing when I said, why look for death. It talks about why look for death when you should just live. That's powerful. That's powerful. But I'm gonna give you some precepts to this right here, where it talks about in Proverbs 18:21. They say, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." Go to Matthew. No, Select. Go to 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. It say, "Talk no more exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed." So, you know, by you talking and saying this, saying, "I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You know, I'm turning up. What I didn't do last year, I'm going to do it this year for my birthday. I'm celebrating my birthday, you know, low 4 days prior to the day that I really was born on. I'm going all out this year." Yeah, all right. Now you talking proud. Now you let arrogancy come out your mouth. But you know, God gonna weigh your actions now. God gonna weigh your actions. So I'm gonna give you a precept, another one. Take it to Matthew chapter 12. And you know, like I said, we just gotta stop with what we're doing. Matthew chapter 12, verse 36. "But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment." Yeah, because you're gonna be held accountable. You're gonna be held accountable for every word that you speak. And I have done heard some foolish talks when it comes down to her birthday. Verse 37. "For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned." Yes. You hear some of the foolish people say some of the retardedest things when it comes to their birthdays. I'm talking about what they gonna do. I'm talking about they just make a muck of themselves. But I have one more precept for this. Go to Job 15. And you know, some people just can't stop. They love it. They love doing what they do. They love it. Job chapter 15, verse 5. "For thy mouth uttereth thy iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty." Because you get that crafty tongue from the oppressor, so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know, And he don't care. He don't care. You know, he pushed that agenda throughout this whole earth. Verse 6, it say, thy own mouth condemn thee. Yes, your own mouth will condemn you. Has done and still is doing. And not I. And this is God talking now. Yea, thy own lips testify against thee. Yes, your own mouth testify against you by saying the crazy things that you say. And by you keep celebrating your birthday, you don't have nothing to do with the Most High. All for self. By you keep celebrating your birthday, you are all for self. And we'll go to Matthew chapter 15 and 8. Matthew chapter 15, verse 8. It say, this people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Yeah, a lot of people draw near the Most High with their mouth, you know, saying, that, oh, I love God. Thank God for doing this. Thank God for doing that. And honor with your lips, but your heart is far from him. Here in the ISUPK and the Commander Junior Hunter, we know that when it talks about the heart in the Bible, it talks about your mind. Because by you celebrating your birthday and lifting yourself up, there's no way that your heart is with the Most High. Your heart is not on the Most High. Because if it was, you wouldn't be doing that BS. You wouldn't. Because God ain't nothing to play with. The Most God ain't nothing to play with. And I'm talking about this nigga God. I'm talking about the God of Israel. So for all y'all that keep celebrating your birthday and when he cripple y'all, keep doing what you do. Don't even call on him. You keep doing what you do. But you know, by you celebrating your birthday, you are really putting your trust in Satanism. You putting your trust in Anton LaVey, who really brought celebrating your birthday abroad. And Satan brought that through him and others, you know, other people that worship Satan. They push this whole agenda throughout this whole earth. But you know, this is what the Most High said. This is what the Most High. I'm going to take you to Psalms 118. And verse 8. Is it better to trust in the Most High God than to put confidence in man? So here when it talks about confidence, it talks about trust. So is it better to trust in the Most High or to put trust in man? If you know like I know, it's better to trust in the Most High God with everything that's in you. With everything that's in you. And to come up out of this foolishness. Because you know, like it said in Proverbs, as a dog returns back to his vomit, so a fool returns back to his foolishness. So when I say this here, for the ones, to my Israelite brothers and sisters, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, man, woman, and child, if y'all are not in the ISUPK, stop playing yourself. Get into a school near you so you can come up out of this. So you can stop celebrating this dreadful, dreadful holiday. It's no life in this. It's no. But I'm gonna give you one precept to this Psalms 118 and 8. Jeremiah 17. Jeremiah 17 and 5. Jeremiah 17, verse 5. Thus saith the Most High God, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, whose heart departed from the Most High God. So you got to be crazy to put your trust in man to go and celebrate this birthday, when nowhere in the Bible does the Bible speaks about celebrating birthdays. Nowhere in the Bible did God say for especially Israelites, his chosen people, so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians, man, woman, and child, to celebrate a birthday. It's nowhere in here. It's nowhere in here. It's nowhere in here. So celebrating your birthday. Come back and serve the Most High God and celebrate his high holy days. Because I have never found so much joy. When I got into the ISUPK and Commander Junior Hunter, I ain't never found so much joy in celebrating the Most High God high holy days. Only thing that's going to come out of celebrating birthdays is death. That's the only thing, because that day is cursed. That day is cursed. So you got to stop. Do yourself a favor. Stop with that. Stop with it. You're looking real silly. And I'm going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shabbarakathon. To the sisters. Yahweh Shamar, El Atham, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Class dismissed.